Hey YouTube, I'm back again with another live video. And for those that's wondering what I'm doing, you would have to go to my previous live video where I was reading about Jesse Jackson to get the beginning of his bio. But I'm back again paying homage to Jesse Jackson. As we all know, Jesse Jackson is deceased. He died earlier today. The news is all over Instagram and social media. Um, so that is why I decided to read about him, and I'm going to continue from where I left off. So I left off at activity between presidential campaigns. I got a smoothie, but I don't know if I want to drink it because I mix two different smoothies together and I don't like the smell of the second one. It's like that Pedialyte shit that kids and people used to drink back in the day. They got that weird scent. The one with I think it was coconut milk. The one with the coconut milk, they ain't taste bad. It's the other one that I don't know about. In January 1985, concurrent with the second inauguration of Ronald Reagan, Jackson led several hundred supporters in a procession through downtown Washington to the grounds of Washington Monument. He stressed that they needed to keep alive the hopes of those who had fallen through the safety net and challenged America to protect the poor. In April, Jackson led a rally to protest the sale of an elderly farmer's farm in Kearney Trust CO outside the Clinton County Courthouse, where he called the gathering of farmers, union labor members, ministers, and urban blacks from Kansas City, a rainbow coalition for e- economic justice. In June, Mayor of the District of Columbia, Marion Barry, introduced Jackson at the Winston Elementary School, where Jackson said that the number one threat to the development of this generation is drugs. In June 1986, Jackson delivered Vermont that many black people were experiencing an ethical collapse, a spiritual shaping this reality through drugs, alcohol, sex without love, making unwanted babies, turning on each other with violence. Later that month, after basketball player Lynn Bass cardiac arrest stemming from cocaine intoxication, Jackson and Representative Charles Rangel called for Reagan to announce the nationwide war on drugs and seek increased funding of federal anti-drug education programs in public schools. During the 1970 Chicago mayoral election, Jackson led an effort to get Chairman Paul G. Kirk to meet with the Cook County Party leaders in Chicago to prevent the campaign's deterioration and avoid dissension and splintering of the Democratic vote. Jackson and his supporters charged that Chicago Democrats would do anything to prevent Harold Washington from being reelected, including campaigning for his Republican challenger. Let me see how much more of this. Cause damn, this is a long ass bio. What the hell? You know what? Yeah, Jesse. Where the hell was I reading it? I don't know what the hell I was reading. 1988 presidential campaign. By early 1986, there was speculation that Jackson run for president again in 1988. In March 1987, he formed an exploratory committee, making him the second to do so after Gary Hart. By April 1987, after previously having spent all on half a day in Iowa, Jackson had spent 6 days there throughout a year and moved his office to the rural part of the state instead of Des Moines. He stressed that farmers and businessmen are akin to employ blacks and being negatively affected by the Reagan administration's economic policies. In July, Jackson met with former governor of Alabama George Wallace for half an hour, calling the former segregationist one of the most for of any governor across the South in terms of the sharing of appointments with blacks and whites and men. And the tone of the administration had changed. The meeting was seen as Jackson testing support for a presidential bid. In September, Jackson attended a presidential candidates forum. He embraced the congressional black caution. What is that fucking word? Cautious positions on education, employment, and defense, and was greeted with chants of "Run, Jesse, run," and "Win, Jesse, win." Please excuse me if I mispronounce anything. You already know that throughout this article, I have been. On October 11, 1987, Jackson announced his candidacy candidacy in the 1988 presidential election. At the time of his announcement, polling showed that he led 9 of the 12 southern states that would hold primaries or caucuses in March and led the Democratic field at 27%. In November, Jackson announced that Speaker of the California State Assembly Willie Brown would serve as his campaign chairman, while political strategist Gerald Alston, I said strategist, I mean strategist, Gerald Alston became his campaign manager. Later that month, Jackson announced that he would stop his tour of the Persian Gulf to attend the funeral of his friend, Mayor of Chicago, Harold Washington, before changing his mind. There's a picture of Jesse Jackson with Kurt Anderson and Decatur Bucky Trotter during the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus meeting in Annapolis, Maryland, 1988. Jackson campaign platform included a call for a single payer system of universal health care, higher taxes on the wealthy, and defense spending cuts intended to reduce federal budget deficits and increase education, housing, welfare, and child care spending. Ratifying the Equal Rights Amendment and executive order to ban discrimination against gays and lesbians in federal agencies, the Army, and to recognize gay couples for spousal benefits, reducing the supply and flow of drugs into communities. The creation of the domestic version of the World Bank called the American Investment Bank that would have the authority to sell government bonds to rebuild American inf- infrastructure, suspending the development of new nuclear weapons in order to eventually ban them altogether, in a very different relationship with the Soviet Union, involving a constructive partnership. In 1987, the New York Times called Jackson a classic liberal in the tradition of the New Deal in the Great Society. Jackson participated in a for University of New Hampshire debate where he was noted as the one candidate who from most of the bitter exchanges, as he excelled the Reagan administration. In the February 8th Iowa caucus, Jackson came. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right, but anyway, Jackson became in fourth place behind Gephardt, Simon, and Dukakis. Dukakis, whatever his name is. Though he had quadrupled his support there from his 1984 bid. After losing New Hampshire to Dukakis in a wide margin, Jackson was seen as having done well enough to argue that he has expanded his appeal. In the March 8th Super Tuesday contest, Jackson won Virginia, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi. Party leaders saw the results of indicating the beginning of the long three-way race between Dukakis, Jackson, and Gore. As the month progressed, Jackson won Alaska, South Carolina, and Puerto Rico. A lie. I should say this for a day where I really, really feel like reading. I ain't never gonna lie. Oh, I see why a lot of people don't come live no more because they has to be hopping these damn premiums now. They don't even come live for certain people. So, my bad, y'all. I'm over here taking a little break from reading. Oh, so that's what y'all been doing. Okay. Jackson scored a surprising victory in the March 26th Michigan primary, defeating the Dukakis in the landslide. You know what? I'm about to put this smoothie in the refrigerator and let it get a little bit colder because I don't know if I want to drink it right now. All right, Jackson scored a surprising victory in the March 26th Michigan primary, defeating Dukakis in the landslide. This made him a front runner in this race and spurred party officials to actively contemplate that he could be the party's nominee after all. Former Democratic Party Chairman Robert Strauss said that his Michigan win showed that Jackson has the kind of power we hadn't expected and was a real vulnerability for the Dukakis campaign. Jackson participated in a March 20th debate in Fordham University, where he was the only candidate greeted by applause and stressed that government intervention could end homelessness. Mayor of New York City, Ed Koch, supported Gore and attacked Jackson, saying that Jews would have to be crazy to support his campaign and that Jackson lied about his role in the aftermath of King's assassination. The caucus defeated Jackson in the New York primary, and a distant third place finish led Gore to drop out of the race. So they talk about that. They saying that Jesse Jackson lied about holding Martin Luther King after his death or being shot. Koch later apologized in a letter expressing regret if racial or religious friction resulted from his comments about Jackson. Jackson narrowly lost the Colorado primary to Dukakis and was defeated handily by him in the Wisconsin primary the next day. Jackson's showing among Wisconsin white voters was significantly better than the 1984, but also notably lower than pre-primary polling had predicted. The back-to-back victories established Dukakis as the front runner. Jackson and Dukakis debated each other one-on-one for the first time on April 23rd. Throughout May, Dukakis won more contests than Jackson on staff admitted he no longer could win the nomination. Because, like I said, this is a lot, and I moved to read. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of information about Jesse Jackson. It's too much. And I'm trying to get out the way, but the more I read, it seems like the longer it gets. Yeah.